Hello and welcome to a new series, Garry's Mod Exploration. In this new series, I show you some of the maps that I've collected over the years, the decades that I've played this game, and we are also going to explore some maps that I find lying around the workshop. I've done Garry's Mod videos in the past, mainly in German, and I've recorded a video for this map before, a few years ago. But I'm not entirely happy with it, and obviously with my new microphone, and I decided to give it another go, which is what I'm doing now. The map that we are looking at today is something that sits very close to my heart. It has accompanied me over the years. It has sat, so to say, in my heart. I don't want to over dramatize this, but it's a lovely map. It's small, very small, but it has been one of my favorites ever since. For years, really. But for almost a decade, I would even dare say. Now, without further ado, the current theme of these maps is mainly a feeling. Garry's Mod is, on the one hand, about experience, of course, and about creativity and looking at the ingenious design of maps. But sometimes, about 50% of the maps that I'm going to be looking at is about feeling, the eerie feeling of being alone, the sort of liminal spaces that are around here nowadays. But Garry's Mod, and the Source engine in particular, has been very popular for this liminal feeling and these liminal maps. So without further ado, let's look at it. Let's depart from the beautiful, beautiful scenery of Christchurch Meadow in Oxford, where I had a walk in September. Lovely walk on a September afternoon. I think it was the 25th September. Let's just quickly look at my photo gallery to see whether I was right, because that would be very, very interesting if I were. No, I'm wrong. It's the 19th of September when I had the lovely walk. Now, I'm going to turn on the audio for you guys, and please indulge me. Let the audio, I don't want to say consume you, but dive into it, okay? It's part of the feeling, I feel like. At least, maybe I'm just talking a lot of nonsense and you're not really getting the feeling that I'm feeling, but perhaps you are, so it's worth a try, isn't it? The scenery that we're seeing, that we are first greeted by, is a dark, dark tunnel with a lot of ambient noise, gunshots, distant stuff. When we turn around, we see something. What do we see? A subterranean refuge. The map, created in 2014, was designed to be a sort of haphazardly assembled cacophony of living, underground, whether hiding away, being the last survivors after a nuclear fallout or whatever catastrophe. We don't know. We don't know why they are here. All we know is that they are here. Also, please don't pay attention to the health bar on the lower left of my... actually, I'm going to do this. Now, let's proceed, shall we? Let's enter this lift, past the waterfall, and let's look at what awaits us. The stability of this thing is, I would say, physically doubtful, but well. So we start out. Let's get an overview. It's a small community of put together houses, and let's look at each and every one. We have some sort of, well, what could it be? AC unit, not really, but some electrical appliance. Well, there's not much to expect, is there? It's a lovely window where you can view the outside. Electric lighting. And a roof. Small, cozy. Right? There's a bench. Oh. I'm sorry. Let me put it back. It's not that easy to navigate with this thing. The next room, it has some shelving, some decoration, and a, well, barred window, but apart from that, nothing else. I always think it's a face, but it's not that. And now that we've left this cavey atmosphere, we're far away enough from it. You can just hear the waterfall and the cave noises, the trains passing by a few hundred meters above us, I don't know. It's atmospheric, isn't it? I think it is. Now, let's leave this little shack behind us. And I would say, let's explore level by level. Let's make our way downstairs. Before we do that, I want you to look at this. It's a shack. It's a cramped place where you live, where you exist. Obviously, this community doesn't have an overabundance of materials, so they use whatever they have available and make do. And as in any society, there are those who are fortunate to live in a more comfortable housing situation, and those who are not fortunate enough. You have a pot and a kettle. At least you had a pot after I threw it down. I do apologize. And a mattress, some sheets of paper. And yet, I feel like, imagine you could visit here for a few hours. If you, push the mattress against the wall, or do something I think you could make it quite comfortable and, take your crossword puzzle with you. I've got a whole book with 4 books of them, full of them actually. Listen to the sound, maybe open the door and look outside to the waterfall. I think it would be very soothing. I quite like the atmosphere. I can't lie. And although this is quite small, you see that there's, I don't want to say life behind it, but there is something like the Harry Potter room beneath the stairs. You exist. Not comfortably, and maybe not even seen by many. But it's like your own little room of privacy where you look upon others. I mean, you have quite the view there, don't you? And it's assembled out of metal sheets, but still, you have something, you have somewhere to stay. And we've got a very sturdy door. Now let's make our way to the cafe. Cafe Baltic. On the map, GM Big City, which we will undoubtedly deal with, there is also a Cafe Baltic there. And it's, well, if you approach it and if you approach the door, you hear a devilish and hellish scream and you are thrown back. I assure you there won't be any scream today. Oh, look at this little shades. Isn't it nice? Now let's enter. It's a place of community, isn't it? 2 tables, 5 seats. I don't think, I mean, let's say maybe there are 20 people here max. I don't think you need that much more. Five seats, more than enough. You can see really that I wonder, because that's a brick house. How did it get down here? I understand these metal houses, but bricks? You'd have to transport a lot of bricks and a lot of mortar down here, and wood and concrete by the looks of it. But again, this map isn't made to be realistic. Obviously, first of all, that lift would fall apart, I'm sure. It's not made to be realistic. But it's made to convey feeling, isn't it? And that cafe is sort of like an oasis of homeliness in an otherwise maybe not as welcoming environment. Beautiful little bar here, and maybe you serve some drinks, or generally it's just like as I said, a community centre where you come together, talk, and get on with your life despite the crumbling wallpaper around you. I wonder, this is some kind of storage, but however do you get around here? I mean, this one, there's a gap, but I don't think, no, you fall down. I don't think there isn't a wooden plank, so it's not an everyday way. Maybe it's just a storage put away. I mean, you could reach here, obviously, you can reach here, but down there, maybe that's trash, I don't know. Very fancy door. Let's take a look inside. Now this room is the fanciest room. And you can see the waterfall kind of predominates over the wooden frame, the metal well, or lead frame of these glass panes. Anyway, that's just a visual glitch. Won't concern us. The desk is pretty fancy, also is the chair. I like to think of it as sort of the mayor's office, in a way. The regent, not really regent, because you'd have to be a democratic society, because, you know, if you're in a cramped space down here, you have no power over others. I mean, except maybe supplies or something. That you are the one who regulates the supplies and has control over the supplies, maybe, I don't know. Other than that, you're pretty much all stuck in the same boat, so I don't see how much advantage you can have over other people. But anyway. Let's see. Over here you have a lovely little bedroom. Pretty lovely ceiling, really. Electric lighting. Small bedroom, but you can make do, right? And a bathroom, bathtub, a toilet. I was about to say, maybe open the door to this side. Toilet, bathtub, and me, a sink and a mirror. Although, to be fair, I don't know if they have got running water down here. But anyway, this is the fanciest apartment we're going to see today. I promise. Let's depart from the regent's quarters and go down another level. It's also some sort of nice balcony, isn't it? If you pop in a few chairs here, it's nice, isn't it? It's quiet. This area, we won't go there just now. We'll enter through the door downstairs. Now, let's head down, shall we? Now, this is interesting, isn't it? It looks haphazardly. But also, if you're down here and you are short of materials, what works, works. I mean, if you take this walk every day, twice a day or something, you only, I mean, it's an apartment after all. You know how to maneuver, you know how to place your feet, where to place your feet. So after time, you don't need more room because you exactly know how to walk. It's like maneuvering around your apartment in the dark. You know where things are. You know where you put them. You know where the table is. You know where the bed is. The chairs, the whatever. You don't need light. You know your way around because everything's been there forever. Same here. You know how the walk is. Left foot there, right foot here. And you're in. So I think that's also a testimony to that looks like that really. I mean, these things, obviously. It looks deserted in a way, doesn't it? We don't know. I mean, it could well be empty. Well, if we just look at this and don't look at what's behind, it could well be some cafe or a deserted street, couldn't it? But this looks alive. For me, at least, this wooden plank here, that could never look deserted. Because it's practical. It's made out of experience. You know, no, it's like a makeshift solution becoming permanent. You put a plank here so you can get up. You put a plank there so when you leave the door you can put your foot out. But you don't need more than that. It's sort of a temporary solution that has become a lived, experienced, and sort of everyday implementation, so to say, you know. Anyway, let's get in. That's your normal 2-bedroom with the second room being quite at the back. So it's cozy in a way, right? You can make yourself at home. You've got a lovely little view, but you don't have a kitchen. You don't have wet rooms as well. So maybe not as obviously not as luxurious as the mayor's or regent's quarters. But as I said, that's the most luxurious quarters that we're going to be seeing for today. Also, behold this small chair. It's cute, isn't it? It just sits there. Like an overseer of some sort. Just watching. Whoops. It's interesting. You're just watching... What are you watching? This. Well. Now, let's advance to the hotel. 2-star hotel, so service can't be that great. Look at the room on the right first. That's a room, isn't it? A carpet, a rug, a fridge, a stovetop, an oven, sink, warm water, cold water. You can make do, right? A room upstairs, your living room, sleeping room, maybe bedroom. Again, no bathrooms. Boarded up windows. You had to be hiding from something because up here you look outside. Down here, maybe you don't want to see the people passing by looking inside your window. And as you don't have, as you don't have any wool or fabric for curtains, you just board the windows up. Again, kitchen, sink, oven, and an upstairs. You can put a bed here, and not much here, but you have it. You have a place to stay. Now back here is just I was about to say like bike closet or bike storage, but given that you're in a cave, I don't think you've got much use for a bike. Let's head upstairs. We see that's how we also could get into. If you don't want to walk downstairs and upstairs again, so let's just go in here. This room is also quite nice because you've got I think, one of the best views. Not the best view, but one of the best views. Little storage beneath the stairs. Oh, broken stairs. Oh dear. Now that's, I think, another one of the best views. Little bedroom. Put a bed here and you could look out. Maybe, no, even here. You can look at the waterfall. I think that's calming, soothing, in a way, isn't it? Now these rooms are rather utilitarian, rather typical. Just square rooms. This has a big ass kitchen. Really, it does have. Huge. Also, I think this view is even better because you don't have the little bridge blocking it. Isn't it nice? I do think so. The place itself was rather run down. I mean, you've got living room / bedroom here. Maybe table here, bed here, but it's very, 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 very run down. Meh. And you've got another room up here with small attic. That's perfect for children, isn't it? They could play hide and seek and do whatever. So I think this is really a perfect place for children to play. I bet children would love this. I would have loved it, probably. Now, let's return. So 2 stars, hotel. I mean, it's okay. We didn't have any breakfast, but that's alright. Let's continue. We've got residence spaces. Now all we need is some way to live. And that's here. We've got a little shop. Back here, maybe the shopkeeper's living and bedrooms. Again, no washrooms, no kitchen. Maybe that's also just storage. I don't know. But over here, you've got a lovely little segmented space where you can, for example, if you want to hand this over to someone, you can just press this and it opens. So you can exchange stuff, sort of like the bank teller who has this little drawer. You put something in, then he draws to himself, or they pick it up, and then put something in, and then they move it back to you. Nice, isn't it? And you can enter this little shop from here. Nice. Now, let's look at this. This is another sort of shop. Some shelves, some storage, and here you can put things in, I think, and then they slide down. They're actively getting thrown out. It's like a conveyor belt. Nice, isn't it? The lights are also they're interesting, aren't they? Little view. Now, over here, that's the more interesting part. Let's look at this first. That's also a shop. We've got a storage space here. And you've got just, a teller's window, so to speak. You can sell train tickets, baked goods, maybe. But you can hand them over, I don't know. Looks like something you'd sell baked goods in. And this room, now, this one is buried into my mind because you've got electric blinds. This is one of the most spacious rooms and apartments, aside from the electric sizzling downstairs. It's actually quite nice. The wall is a bit nyeh, but the view isn't it nice? It's residential, because over there, if you look outside of here, you look at the center of the community, the bustling waterfall. It's always busy, isn't it? You see people walking around here and here maybe and here. It's always something. But over here, over there, really, when you look out, it's just a stationary place. I feel like it's not as busy, it's not as much movement going on. And back here, if you look at the tunnel, which we're going to look at just later on, but it's also static, right? It's chilly. And chilly in a way as it's relaxing in a way, isn't it? Except the electric fire hazard downstairs would make me mad. Now we've had this change. Yeah, right, a change. Change, that makes sense actually. I haven't noticed that before. Makes sense. Now we've had that. Now we're coming to something which I'm quite fond of. I believe that's it. It's a photocopy place. It's cute, isn't it? Some sort. I feel like this is an area. Obviously, Garry's mod doesn't have the capacity to have ambient sounds being measured by distance. So if you're further away, you know, you hear less sounds. But I feel like this is a place where things could get quiet and you could chill out in a way. Maybe that's just my imagination. This is where you sell stuff. Now, let's continue. Where have we not been? I wanted to show you a room. A room that I seem to have overlooked. Oh no, I haven't. Let's get down here. Now this is a doctor's office with maybe a living room or some, some place. If you have an occupation, you just live here, maybe. Sell vials, and you have a waiting room here with blood. Oh, very displeasing, but cinema seats. You've got a souvenir shop, isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? Where you can just put your stuff in and sell it. Back here, by the way, there's the light that's making the noise. Over here, you have a garage. That's very quiet, isn't it? You can hear nothing. Almost nothing. The electrics. Aside from the electrics. Over here, you are on your own, really, isn't it? It's quiet. It's nice. It's not as busy, right? It's soothing. Here's just nothing, really. Well, here is something, and we're going to be talking about it in a few minutes at the end of our tour. Sorry, just had a glass of water. This tunnel has apparently caved in, and the truck, which looks like it's from the 70s, has been buried. There is something behind it, and we're going to be looking at it at the end. And here you can see the room with the electric blinds. I mean, the view is not the best, but it's sort of on the back side of the house, away from the street. It's calm, right? Now, down here is just the electric generator creating electricity for the community in a shed, and there's just wastewater. But there is something I wanted to show you. I could get on the ladder. Sorry. Right, here. I feel like I missed a room. No, maybe that's downstairs. So, let's get down here. This is a prison. The locked door with, you can put a bed here or whatever. And it's also a nice view. Let's go down because you're at the very bottom of this cave. This is a prison, obviously. You're at the very bottom, so you're not very much disturbed, but I can imagine the smell must be quite difficult. Now, I've talked about this being a brick house and how to get bricks down here. And you can see the foundation of the house crumbling away into the toxic waste. Fabulous. Now, there is something else I wanted to show you. This. Down here is a science lab. Seems awfully advanced and awfully technological for an underground civilization such as this. But maybe that's just all they could gather, and maybe hopes of rebuilding the civilization one day depending on what they're fleeing from, and maybe that's surveillance cameras from the area immediate of the cave entrance or something. Some cables and servers and whatnot. Now, but there is a room that I distinctly remember, and I haven't seen it yet. Oh, this one. I missed it as easily. Because this roof is also apparently a road. This is one of my favorite rooms. The other rooms sort of are rooms in that they are square or rectangular. But this is a complex shape. Obviously we had the photo copy shop right across here being just a taco or a tortilla chip as a room. But this, I feel like it's sort of narrow and long, and if you cuddle up in the corner, I feel like it's relaxing. It gives you warmth of a big hug, because if the area around you is tight, not as a claustrophobic matter, but if you feel enclosed, if you feel encapsulated, if you feel protected, I think this corner, this room in particular, I feel like that's the room that can do this the most. At least in my opinion. It's comfy, isn't it? Actually, this is it. This is the community. How do I feel about this? I like it. I love this map, as I've told you in the beginning. I love this map. It's atmospheric in a way that very few maps achieve. It really gives you the feeling of being alone, but not in the way that big rooms, like big shopping malls, empty shopping malls, which we're going to be looking at sooner or later. It's not the feeling, it's the feeling of being alone, as in when everybody else is doing shopping or something, and you have a rare glimpse of an otherwise busy place in a relaxed setting. Everybody's gone, nothing's bustling around except the waterfall, etc., etc. So this feels soothing in the way that you know you're not alone. It feels temporary because everything looks, despite, and that's interesting though, isn't it? Despite all the materials looking decrepit and derelict, this still feels alive. This doesn't feel abandoned at all. That's what I like about this. It feels alive, although this setting is so uninviting, inhospitable, still, it feels alive. It feels like a community has made the best of what they have. And that's honourable, isn't it? And I don't know, I just can't shake the feeling. It's incredibly atmospheric, it's chilling, I love this. I really do. It's because you can really see how worlds collide in a way, because every little apartment is a person. Behind these windows there's a person with their own life, doing maybe baking goods, being a doctor, selling stuff, working, whatever they do down here, Behind every window is a life. Behind every door is a world. There is an old Jewish saying. I believe it's in the book of the Mishnah. If it's not a book, I'm sorry. I just know the Mishnah, and I know there are several chapters. If you save a person, you save a world. And if you destroy a person, you destroy a world. And that's pretty much what this is, isn't it? Behind every window, there's a whole world of experience, of happiness, of emotions, of sadness, of hopelessness, of despair. Because if you're down here, you're not living your life to the fullest. But even so, this doesn't look improvised. Well, it does look improvised. Sorry, I just had to sneeze. This doesn't look emotion. Sorry, I wanted to say that this doesn't look like the people had tended no care in assembling this. It looks homely, it looks livable, despite this being the absolute hellish circumstances of living, which we would consider it to be. But it's living after all, isn't it? If you had to choose between no life and this life, perhaps it's not so unappealing after all. Obviously, if you are down here and civilization has ended in a way, or you hide out because you are refugees or whatever, then you've got, of course, traumas of losing loved ones and losing your life as it was. But this feels homely. I can't shake the feeling of this homely atmosphere. It's, I don't know. It feels homely, and I believe it is homely. And I believe the author has done a fabulous job in conveying this, because they intended this to be a sort of makeshift underground civilization, hiding or surviving. And I think that's it, because the cafe means that life is going on, life is continuing, even if it's different, even if you have got to make some, even if you not really cut some corners, even if you have to make some changes and not have certain luxuries of life, you can still fulfill your need for happiness. A cafe, maybe they do gaming nights or sit around and talk and whatever. It's not isolated. It really feels like a community. It's all because every building is connected to the other building in a way. You've got bridges, you've got roads, you've got planks, you've got staircases. You've got everything. Now, the only thing I wanted to show you is this. Behind this tunnel and this truck, there is another area with, boarded up windows, which you can see barely out of, through here. There is no entrance to here besides cheating, i.e. no clipping. And it feels like that's where they arrived from, or maybe the community extended to here and the tunnels collapsed. Maybe even there was others like this, like other caves and other areas of living like this, but the caves collapsed and now you can't reach them. Perhaps. Now this feels like a camp where you just arrive. This doesn't feel like home. This feels like sleeping, having a place to sleep, and working on something. You sleep in groups of 4, you eat something on this table here, and you get to work. Like building something, building a tunnel, building your place to live. This is like a camp. But this, despite its rundown nature and its limitations, this feels like a home, doesn't it? This really feels like home. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is if you are... Not what I wanted to show you. If you go across this to this tunnel, there's a room where you can turn on the waterfall or off the waterfall and the sound effect of the waterfall. So you can have the waterfall off and the sound effect still being there, or you have got the visual effect of the waterfall without the sound effect. It's up to you. And I said we're going to have a look at this because behind there here's just a test chamber. I don't know what point there is in this test chamber. And now that's all. If we look at this map, there's a lot of rooms, isn't there? There's bustling life. And it's admirable, I think. It's honorable. It's nice. Now, let's depart from this. Let's leave this place. Let's leave homely nature and a tight-knit community underground and return to our normal life. Leave this fantasy of calming sounds, of a refuge of some sort. Let's leave it behind. Let's take a look at how the people living here have made this place their home. Looking at this from here, it looks like you're passing by. This doesn't feel like it's your home when you look at it. I mean, you know that you could make it your home, but this looks like these houses look occupied. Not by us, for sure. We've got other places to be. Now, that's it for today. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, because I certainly did. This map, RP Subterranean, has stayed with me in my heart for years, ever since I discovered it. It has a special place in my heart. The author had tried to make, or has succeedly made, a makeshift community. And you see these little signs of life, the makeshift bridges, the optimized paths, planks only where you need them because you know where to walk. It's a vibe. It's not always that I feel like visiting here. I sometimes look at this map because sometimes I need this. I'm looking for this feeling of, because that's down here. You feel closed off from, or shut off from the outside. This is its own space. And some of these rooms really feel like a warm hug of sorts, where you know that sometimes the air around you is too cold. Not, barometrically, but it feels too cold. Sometimes, at least I think, at least I do, I feel like the space around you is too much. You look for something that you can feel the boundaries, feel the thresholds. So like a thick blanket, where you feel where the room around you ends. If you just stand in a big empty room, you just feel the air. But sometimes you need to feel, the dimensions. I mean that, geometrically, to feel like a cocoon, really. And this map really does that for me. It's soothing, it's comfortably small. It's like cuddling up and reading something. For me, at least. For others, it might be feeling a bit cold, a bit empty, and that's fine. Maybe that's also nostalgia speaking. I don't know. All I know is that for us, this little adventure has ended. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little showcase. I hope you're looking forward to the next maps. Promise this map being a bit existentialist. We've got cheerful maps, really paradisic. What's the adjective? It's paradise. I don't know. Parasitic is not the word. Because that's parasite. Paradise. Paradisic. I don't know. Beautiful maps ahead that make you feel like you are in your own paradise. That's where you want to be when you need a breath of fresh air, when you need to clear your head. That's the maps that we're going to be looking at. There's one map I love, really. I love it. It sits right here on this map that we've looked at today is also an emotional trigger map in the way that it gives you a certain feeling. This feeling that we've looked at today is comfort through cuddly crampedness. And that we're going to be looking at the next time or some other time is pure relaxation through impulse and through trigger absence. It's just relaxing. It's a paradise map, really. It's like a beach resort in a way. I hope to see you next time. As I said, thank you very much for watching. Do take care. Relax. Do whatever you feel that you need. Take care of yourself. And I hope to see you when we take another dive into the maps that Gmod has to offer. And when we look at what does this map make you feel? What does this map do for you? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. If you have some thoughts, please let me know. And then now, see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.